This is Andy from Man City Fan TV. The Sharon Latham interview series is brought to you by selfieguide.co.uk. Go over and check it out. Okay, so moving away from sort of your City career, what have you been up to since you left Man City?
So I made the decision to leave Man City when I knew Pep was coming in, because I'd had plans to leave before, but you just get embroiled and then the next season comes along and then you stay a bit longer, you stay a bit longer. But I always knew I wanted to leave because I'd got other plans and ideas. I spent 8 wonderful years at City and catalogued some of the most amazing things ever to happen to the club.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I knew when that was done, and I knew that there was going to be a new era, I knew that Pep was coming, and I thought, if I stay, I will stay here forever. And I will end my career here.
Never
and I didn't want to do that because there are other things and other challenges. I'm quite an ambitious and creative person, and even though the football is phenomenal and I love it, every year's the same.
Yeah.
So you know the kit shoot's coming along, you know this shoot's coming along, you know the team shoot's coming along, you know you got home games, away games, international games. Even though the games are different,
it's just the routine.
Photographically, it is exactly the same every year. So you do get to the point of creative-wise,
bit stale.
Yeah. The only other creative stuff I was able to do was some of the Christmas campaigns. I don't need to remember. I should have mentioned this in one of my favourite shots, but there was a Christmas card shot that I did, and it was a Christmas dinner table, and it had Willie Caballero, Joe Hart, Jesus Navas. I will get the picture and give it to you so you can see it.
No, I don't remember this.
So it was a Christmas table, and it was all created and set up by me. So I had this image in my head. So the Christmas table, and it's front on. So it's a bit like the Last Supper in some respects.
Oh yeah.
And Joe was stood carving the turkey and growling because he couldn't carve the turkey. Buzzer was on the end. Mike Busby was on the end as the drunken granddad at the end of the table. Under the table, on the floor, was Jesus Navas with a little dog, trying to cajole the dog. And all this bedlam's going on like a family Christmas portrait.
Yeah.
I think Mangala was in it, and Willie Caballero. I think Sanya might have been in it. And the Christmas tree is falling over, and Sanya's trying to stop the Christmas tree from falling over. So that was creatively the sort of stuff that I wanted to do, but you only could do that once a year.
Yeah, of course.
But that was one of my favourite shots to do as well, creative-wise. So I knew I wanted to leave, so when they said Pep was coming in that season, I thought, if I stay, I will stay forever. So if I leave now, it will then mean whoever takes over will be able to get to know a new manager, a new set of management, because that happens every time a new manager comes in. You've got to embed
backroom staff.
Yeah, you've got to get their trust all over again, and that takes a season sometimes. So I thought, no, if I stay and then leave it and leave midway through, that's not fair. So I'll leave when Pep comes in, which unfortunately, Pep Guardiola, one of the best managers in the world, and I didn't get to work with him, but that's fine. That was my decision.
Of course.
And I get asked, would you have liked to photograph him and all the rest of it? Yeah, he's an animated character, and I'm sure everybody's watching the Amazon Prime stuff, and he's unbelievable. So yeah, I would have liked to have photographed him. It would have been fun, but also by the same vein, I'd have got even more and more frustrated, and I think it was time. I think if you leave on a high,
there's no better.
Rather than, because I think I might have then started resenting what I was doing. I never want to do that.
No.
I always feel like I take photographs for a living, which has been my hobby since I was 8 years old. How can I, ever get sick of that?
It's like the same as footballers, isn't it? They're getting paid. I mean,
they
love playing football.
So I am totally blessed. So I could be taking pictures of footballers, I could be taking pictures of ballerinas, whatever. But taking pictures for your living is just amazing. So it was a big decision. I made the decision, left, and I had a business idea that I'd already spoken to a couple of guys about, and I remember having the conversation with Joe Hart and me saying I was going to leave, and he laughed at me and said, "You'll never leave, you're a lifer, da da da." And I was like, "No, I will leave." It was at a dinner table, and we were sat round talking. And he said, "Well, what would you do if you left?" I went, I'm a photographer. I don't have to take pictures of footballers. He said, "Yeah, but what else?" So I told him this business idea that I had, and he just laughed at me and said, who've you stole that off? And I said, "Nobody." And he went, "Don't lie, who've you stole that off?" I said, "No, it's my idea." He went, let me tell you now, if ever you do that, he said, tell me, because I want to get involved. And that was probably about 2 years before I made the decision to leave. So when I left, he phoned me up and he went, so, are we doing this then? And I was like, you still want to do it? He said, yeah. So that was the selfie guide. So basically it's an app where I have gone around the world and found the best spots in some of the best tourist locations in the world to take the best selfie. And once you get to the location, the app shows you how to get there, how to get to the exact spot to take the photograph. Once you're in that spot, it shows you how to line the background up to make sure that you don't get the Eiffel Tower sticking out your head. And it lines it all up so you then take the best selfie in the best spot.
What a great idea.
Yeah, so that app was launched 12 months ago now, and it's we've got over 250,000 users now.
Wow.
Across the world. So that's going leaps and bounds, so that's been phenomenal. And Joe's been part of that journey all the way through, from choosing the developers to choosing where we go to the locations, which locations go in first. So there's still heaps of work to do with that.
Because, I mean, how many times you get it? I mean, I'm fortunate enough, I go all over the world, but I'm not particularly fantastic and don't really take selfies, but there are some places you think, oh my God, look at that. And when you look at it, you think, that's a bit crap.
And especially if you're going to places that you're possibly never going to go to again.
Yeah, I mean, once in a lifetime.
How many times
the Grand Canyon, or
Egypt or wherever,
yeah.
And then you take a selfie or a photograph and it's got, it coming outside of your head or stuck in your ear, whatever. So yeah, and some of the places that we've got in there are famous places, but then also by the same vein, it's a travel app because it also then shows you places that you don't know about.
Okay.
So you can actually then go to places and see places that you wouldn't actually know.
So it's almost like a travel guide as well.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So that's been running for 12 months, so that's fine. When I first left City, I still carried on my freelance photography, which I still do now, and I was very blessed to get the opportunity to go on tour with Noel in 2016. And then I've done it again this year, in 2018. I get to go to the Toronto International Film Festival and shoot that every year, which is amazing.
You've just been there,
I've just been there now, just got back. That's been gaga-tastic out there. They've gone gaga mad because her premiere of her new film was out there. So that's been amazing. Are you
going to be able to give us just a couple of photographs that we can show the viewers?
Yeah, I'll send you some.
And we'll show you some of these.
So my content is music / entertainment, and then obviously the app as well. So I'm quite happy.
Busy.
Very busy. Yeah. Very happy. So
fantastic. So you're on tour with Noel. We all know Noel's a massive Man City fan.
Huge.
We've seen lots of interviews on City TV.
Yeah.
That he does a lot. We've seen the one that he did with Pep, etc.
I shot that. That was my first.
Oh, did you?
That was one of my last things I shot.
Oh, right. So where he did the interview.
Yeah, he did the interview, and I photographed it all. So all those pictures of him and Vinny, because Vinny was there as well. Yeah. So that was my last thing I shot. Yeah.
So you must obviously, while the game's going on, you must talk about the games, Man City.
Yeah, and we'll find wherever we can to watch them.
Yeah.
So when we were in America in February and March, we were finding bars, we were finding players of hooking up TVs and stuff like that in the dressing room to make sure we could watch the game. Yeah, we talk football all the time.
Yeah. What's he like when he's watching a match?
Oh, very, very passionate.
Animated.
Screens a lot at the telly. Yeah. Even from stuff backstage at festivals, you wouldn't think you'd be able to get a TV backstage at festival. Sometimes you can't, so we get a laptop.
Yeah, of course.
Hook it up, and he's at the laptop. Yeah.
Seconds before he's due to go.
Honestly. And even when he's had to go on stage, and there's been games going on, so his guitar tech, when he's handing and swapping his guitar over, he go, it's 3-2. It's 1-0. You know what I mean? It's so funny. And I can then see by Noel's reaction, who looked at me, and I'll know we're all right, we're doing okay. So we both hate the fact that when we're on tour, we don't get to see stuff. But we get informed midway through. But then by the same vein, some of his tech staff are Liverpool fans. Yeah. His bass player is a former Zootons player, and he's a massive Liverpool fan. His guitar tech is a Liverpool fan. So there's a whole range of different...
banter.
Yeah, a big lot of banter. Yeah. His security guy is an Arsenal fan.
Oh, God.
So it's great fun. It is great fun. And Noel is extortionately passionate about his team. Really passionate.
So, what are the plans Where can you see yourself
World domination
in the next 5 years, 10 years? What any major plans that you think I'd like to be here, or this is what I want
the
to do?
app to be monetized, so the app will never ever be chargeable to a user, so it's always going to be free.
So it's a free.
It's a free app. You can download the Selfie Guide on iOS or on Android, so it's free. But my next stage then is to now gain sponsors, advertisers, to actually come on board and then make money from it. So my aim is to have that working and monetised, and then I'd be able to carry on photographing the stuff that I want to photograph rather than having to photograph stuff I have to photograph.
Yeah.
So I want that money to be earning in the background, and then I can carry on doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And that will continue to be music, entertainment. I've got some exhibition ideas. So I don't think I'll ever retire. Never.
Yeah.
Because I
can't see it. If it's a hobby, you can just go on forever.
So why would you retire when, as I get older, I can still take more photographs? It's not a physically, that sports photography is physically.
Yeah. Well, you've got big cameras, heavy packs.
I refuse to use a monopod as well.
Oh, really?
A lot of sports photographers use monopods. I never did. So with a 400 lens, they're heavy.
Yeah.
So I used to get looked at as though I was insane for that, but I never felt you had the freedom to move around with a monopod stuck there now. I'm a big girl, I can cope. I still like doing the sports stuff. I mean, I still do sports stuff for Joe. I'll still get asked to do the odd game for other people. I get involved in charity games as well. So I'm quite happy to continue photographing for the rest of my life, and that's all I want to do, and just be able to make a living from my other work as well.
Fantastic. Well, listen, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. I want to say a massive thank you,
No,
Sharon,
thank you. Thanks for
being
having me.
open and honest with us. Don't forget, you can. Whereabouts is there a website address?
I've got two websites. So we've got www.selfieguide.co.uk. That's selfieguide.co.uk. And then we've got my website, which is just SharonLatham.com. So there's lots of football and music photographs on there. And then we've got my Twitter account, which is Snapper Shaz. And then we've got two Instagram accounts. We've got the Selfie Guide Shaz, and also the Selfie Guide 2.
What we'll do is we'll
link it at the bottom. Link it at the bottom.
And we'll also put some shots and things of the website. And please don't forget, go and check it out. So Sharon, I want to say a massive thank you.
No, thank you. Today. And when I do my YouTube channel, you can link me that one as well.
Absolutely, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Brilliant. That's excellent.